Welcome to Your OC Sucks, the weekly podcast where we review and critique the best and the worst fan-created original characters from the My Little Pony Fandom. This show is unscripted and unfiltered, so moderate language will be used. As well, this show can be a little heavy on the critique at times. That being said, if you are easily offended, don't watch. If not, feel free to join us for this week's show. This is episode 90 for December 11th, 2015. This week, making his star-studded return to the show, we welcome back Commander Sparkle. My name is Modified Thunderbirds. I'm the host and show manager, and I am joined by...
Commander Sparkle, and I'm actually here.
Yeah. Well, welcome back, Commander. I'm glad to hear that your computer's all fixed, and...
No, it's been really bad. I haven't had a computer for, about 6 weeks, at least.
Cool.
At least this computer. I had a tablet, kind of, but then it also died, and I was sad. And so I just cried a lot and did school. But now I'm back, kind of. Just in time for finals.
Yeah, right? Oh, God. So, welcome back, Commander. It's good to have you back on the main show. I know you were back on the season finale of that pony show, but, you know, it's always good to have you back in the main show as well.
Yeah.
So, Fanart this week.
Oh, yeah, I should probably open up the Fanarts. The Euro C is derp.
Euro C is derp.
It's the first one.
It's quite cute.
Uploaded 6 hours ago. It's cute.
Yeah.
This is the fucking old Medicolors, but
hey, they're oldies but goodies.
Are they?
Maybe.
I mean,
it's Medi's OC, so
his new color palette is better.
Admittedly, yes.
And then me with fucking lined paper, because even though I haven't been on the show for like 6 weeks or however many weeks it's been, I think I borrowed something to be on the Halloween one or something. But the lined paper joke doesn't die.
Yep.
I don't even have to perpetuate it.
I like the cups for me and Medi so far.
Yeah.
Those are quite nice. I like that.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yep. And then 99 Liberty made one so far for Smooth, Commander, and I.
Yeah.
Well, Smooth, Commander, and me would be actually the right one.
I think I...
Nope. Because the rule is that if you can remove the other people that are included in your list and it doesn't sound weird, you did it the right way. So if it was, Liberty did a piece of Fanart for me. Liberty did a piece of Fanart for Smooth Commander and me.
Okay.
Moving on, we're gonna roll die. So evens or odds,
We're
Commander.
gonna die?
We're gonna roll a die. So evens or odds, Commander.
I guess evens.
13.
Ha!
Rolls an odd. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at my first good OC. Or the first OC this week is going to be my good OC. So, I brought on Lilac Night. Species, bat pony. Personality, flirty, super picky, would choosing colts. Malicious, determined, risky, not romantic, tough, mean, straightforward, and a heartbreaker. This character is designed to be a very, sort of, what's the word? Someone who plays with men's hearts.
Succubus?
No, Succubus is an actual demon. She's just not the nicest. She's a bat pony that learned how to play with guys' heart, or colts and men's hearts. She pretty much just started realizing that, she found out that, hanging out with colts, it's like one of these things that they're easily manipulated by the subject of love and whatnot. So
she's telling me she's a bitch.
She's manipulative as all get out. So she started using some of the guys to do things for her and using them and doing mean things to them pretty much. All, quote, she had realized that boys are suckers for love too. And, just doing stuff like that. She actually got her cutie mark, it says here. Eventually she got her cutie mark when she was able to seduce a pony and to do what she wanted. which was to get him to do her homework. So
wow,
it was obviously starting at a very young age.
Fucking Jesus.
And I really like this character because it's a likable character.
Oh, no, obviously.
I find her to be a little bit of a bitch. I mean, after a while.
I mean, I think you're supposed to.
I mean, it's one of these things that it says later on that one time she did end up getting played. The cult knew her game fairly well. He played the game and was vicious. Nothing much happened between the two other than both had around the same plan. And it was going to see who could fall the hardest for the other one first. And it's a really it's a good story behind this pony. Even though the artists themselves say that it is a work in progress. Mm-hmm. It's still a really nice, it's not a nice story, but it's a good story. And I really like it.
So just before we get any farther into this, I just sort of had a thought just that I wanted to just go off on a tangent a little bit about with this character. It's about the character and stuff. And you say that there's the cult that sort of knew her game and sort of played back. What I think would be a really interesting thing to do, especially since this is still a work in progress and you're trying to expand it and stuff, is sort of have it that they both are trying to play the game and then both end up actually falling for each other. Mm-hmm. But then because of the fact that they're still kind of assholes, they then just conspire together to get other people to do stuff.
Yeah. That would be actually... that would actually be a really great story.
It makes me even more of a bitch, I guess, but hey, good... It sounds like something that I could see happening with the character. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's a really well-written idea and concept. We don't actually see a lot of manipulative characters in the OC spectrum or landscape or, I don't know, world, whatever you want to call the group of people who make or characters or whatnot. She likes being sexy, stallions, strawberries, royal guards, thinks they're sexy, pink and purple, night and dark places. She dislikes rude ponies, not getting what she wants, the color green, quitting/quitters, mares who judge her. She currently lives in the Everfree Forest, deep in the forest where the sun never shines. She says that in the cute mark section, bright colored flowers are often labeled as dangerous. This would explain why the flower on her frank is bright yet beautiful. It is very attractive to the eyes, and the pony herself is very attractive as well. She uses her beauty to lure colts into what she wants. Her special talent is being seductress. That's the word. She can easily lure mentally weak colts to give her what she wants, which is lust, and often ruins the lives of her victims.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
She's a total bitch.
She's like the real-world equivalent of a succubus.
Mm-hmm. She's a more practical interpretation of it. Yeah. Without it actually being a succubus. Yeah, we've had a couple of succubuses on the show.
I know. But what you would call a person in real life.
Yeah.
As a succubus. But I mean, definitely I think it they've built the character around this idea pretty well. Where it does obviously there's not too many things. They don't try to give or do anything that contradict the character. It's all stays to the core characteristics and stuff. But I think that works to its favor. It seems not well-rounded isn't the word I'm looking for, but I don't know. It's well thought out, and I like it.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to the actual aesthetic of this pony, I'm really digging the whole lilac and dark purple. I don't know, what would you call that coat color?
It's like a dark purple mixed with a sort of mid to dark gray.
You know what? It's almost like a dark lavender.
I guess yeah, a super pretty dark lavender.
Because it's still saturated like a lavender. They just turned down the brightness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I really like that combo. It looks very well. It looks
very well.
It was done very good.
It was done. No, what are you doing?
This OC was very well made, and it looks very good. The one thing that I really like the posing and whatnot in this image as well. I know we don't really talk about the much of the composition of a picture, but the one problem I have with this image is it doesn't really show the wings that much.
I mean, it's it's pretty. That's a pretty minimal part of the character, though. I mean, they're bat pony wings. You kind of get the colors. They look like bat pony wings. I mean, there's nothing special. I mean, there's nothing special about them, which is good. I think that the fact that they're not trying to be like, yeah, this character has these super different, crazy, cool wings that make them super special. They have enough things already, sort of showing that they're a unique character.
They already put this character in a very sultry position.
Yeah.
I really like
the posing, I think definitely you can tell what kind of character that this is just from like the way that they sort of position their body and the facial expression that they're making. Like you can very easily tell.
I think there's a reason why this one kind of popped out at me. Mostly also the contrast between the DeviantArt background green and the bright, vibrant purple. Not vibrant, but standout-ish. So, yeah, it's a great OC. It's a great concept, though not a good concept in the sense of it being a positive character. It's a very definite negative character, but it's still a very well-written character.
Bad people can be good characters.
Very well made, and I really, really like it.
Nice.
Moving on to the next OC, we're going to take a look at what Commander brought to the party this week.
Okay, this week the OC that I brought is Nervous Nelly by Shipping Everyone.
I can only imagine what this character is going to be about.
Nervous Nelly, who has nicknames of Nell or Nelly, is an anxious and cautious pony, but she's not shy. Like she actually really likes talking to people and communicating, but sort of like just is like always kind of like a little bit jittery, like sort of like nervous and just like kind of like on edge and like cautious of everything, which I like that. I like that she's nervous, but she's like not like nervous of like meeting people and stuff like that and like an introvert, but she's just like always kind of like on edge. She loves feeling in control of like her situation, and that's when she sort of feels like the best and like always likes trying to do things the safest way, and like when like people don't listen to her about what she thinks is the safest way, she really gets annoyed about things. She also really doesn't like scary things, which would probably be because they make her like anxious. Which, I mean, I can understand that. A lot of some scary things, like if it's actually done well, make me anxious, and I'm not a typically anxious person. But then she likes like warm blankets and sweet tea and soothing things, which I think all fit together with that. Just they're all sort of these like nice, like relaxing, comforting things. But like I've been saying though, she's like a really cautious and anxious pony, like she currently is an adult and or the equivalent of an adult pony, whatever age thing is. But she didn't get her cutie mark until she was in the sort of preteen years. Now, one problem I have is that I don't know exactly what age you mean by preteen years. I have a general idea, probably somewhere like a little bit older than the Cutie Mark Crusaders is what I'm assuming. But I just would personally would like a reference to the show just because it's always weird.
I think it would be something along the lines of a little bit more than just a little older than the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Yeah. I think it'd be somewhere around
which can I just say how it's really strange how like do ponies just immediately go from being like the size of the Cutie Mark Crusaders to like full grown ponies? Like is there no like other stage in between? Like we never see it.
Yeah, I think that's why so many people are like
that out.
That's probably weird why so many people make OCs that are sort of bridging that gap.
Yeah, I've seen a lot more OCs that are in that sort of preteen kind of high school age sort of thing, I guess. I have no idea how it's weird. This is I wish the show had a little bit more range on that. But anyways, getting back into this, but going back to her cutie mark, which she got when in those preteen years that we were talking about, how she got it is that she she pretty much like this is the way that this happened. Like it talks about this is sort of one of the only things that I'm kind of like iffy about, because it says that she got it when she was babysitting for her neighbors, or babysitting her neighbor's foal, and took like all this or all of the safety precautions she took prevented a fire from happening. My only problem with that is the fact that with how it's explained, it sounds like the fire didn't have a chance of happening because of the precautions. However, how would even the universe necessarily know that? And it just seems like a weird thing. Like, I don't know. Regardless of that, it was after that point that she sort of realized that she, like her being like so like on edge about stuff a lot, like kept her paying attention to her surroundings a lot, and would let her like keep others safe more easily, and that's when her cutie mark appeared. But I just still I'm glad that I guess I should have read the next line, because it does talk about how she did make this realization, but I'm just trying to understand how she made the realization. It's a better way I should phrase this. But then she apparently lives in Manchester with her mare friend, because gay pounds. Because why not?
Oh, right. Yeah. I gotcha.
I also like how it's just tagged on. It's just
nice.
It's like, hey, this is what she does now.
So, did it explain what she does for a job? Or what her...
It doesn't look like anything is currently explained about what she does for a job, and that would be another thing. I would like to see how she makes use of her cutie mark for a job, because I mean I could definitely see it being something that you could find a job doing something, working for some company, or doing something like doing just like in your town, just sort of going around and doing just safety inspections or something like that. Because I mean, attention to detail for all that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, it doesn't say anything. I would like to know.
I like it. I really like it. It's definitely a new and different take on some of the ponies that OCs have.
I think my favorite part is the fact that she's just like she's still like is like a normal person and just loves talking to people and stuff like that. It's not like she's so anxious and nervous that she needs to avoid all contact with people and become a complete introvert and live her life as a hermit.
She's high functioning.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to describe it.
But yeah, you want to move on to the aesthetics?
Sure, only if you want to.
Okay. Overall, I like the aesthetics. The one thing that's kind of bugging me right now is the cutie mark on the background looks totally fine, but on the pony it is so bright.
Yeah.
It is like it like hurts my eyes. And I like the cutie mark. It's like it's simple and sort of has this sort of exclamation mark sort of give you that sort of alert sort of feeling. Like I imagine something like Metal Gear Solid or something like that.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
But and I like the cutie mark. I don't know whether maybe like make the coat a little bit darker, I guess, because the coat itself is pretty like bright. Like if I change my viewing angle to like sort of like looking up at the picture, I really like the color of it, but like looking dead on the picture, it like I can only just barely tell that it's actually like a blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you made it a little bit darker, and then you wouldn't even have to really change the cutie mark colors, they'd pop a lot better against a darker blue.
Yeah,
and I think that the mane would also actually work better a little bit with the slightly darker coat.
I think it would look better with a darker cutie mark.
I mean, it could. I would try out both.
Yeah, see which one works best.
So it really depends, because it could go either way.
Yeah, I like it.
Trying to make it not look like it's. I don't know, because there's sometimes with colors, or with like shades and brightnesses and stuff, it looks like it's like in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's not good.
I've seen that done too many times.
Yeah. Speaking of backgrounds, just from a I don't know what kind of standpoint, but I feel like the background on this is a little too close to the actual color of the pony. I like what they did with it, but I'd probably make it a little bit darker.
Yeah.
That's just nitpicking, though. I still like it a lot.
I would kind of like to see what the pony itself would look like with a color closer to the main background color. So maybe like somewhere in between.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a lot of different. That's a lot of OC colors.
It is, but I don't know. I also really like the mane and tail design. Really cute, really good.
It fits well together. It's
really
very
unique.
They're both like fitting to each other because they're both kind of short and cropped and slightly curly,
and sort of with all the sort of like edges symbolizing how they're on edge. Oh.
I like that.
See, I was planning that. Word
I thought
choice.
You were going with like, oh my god, it's so edgy. You're going to make it the joke that everybody always makes.
I was going with it the smart way. I also really like the sort of the highlights, which I'm assuming are just natural, just from the pony universe. That's how those things work. But I like the color choice for that, and the just general color choice for the mane and tail. It's good. It's good.
Nice.
Good pone. I like this pone.
Nice. I like it too, Commander.
Indeed.
Good job.
Yeah.
It is a nice pony. Well then, we're going to move on to the bad OC section of this show. So, going back in the same order we presented good, we're going to take a look at what I brought.
Cool.
I brought on DJ 8-Bit.
Oh man, this looks like an OC.
I think it's also called Techno Sound. Yes. Its real name is Techno Sound. Hey, alright, male. Alright, whatever. So, his name is Techno Sound, but he goes by DJ 8-Bit. I'm going to just read it off here. As a relative to Vinyl Scratch, he shares a major love for music.
Oh, God.
He grew up in a house surrounded by it, with his mother playing the violin and his father the piano. The lived in outskirts of, but once he moved to Canterlong, he heard all of the other types of music, where vinyl introduced him to her dubstep at the age of 11. He fell in love with it and learned himself with some of her help. Now he travels through Canterlong, performing the some of the biggest parties. Techno Sound is a quick stallion, but sometimes this gets him into trouble. He's also a serious party animal, whether he manages the wubs or just at the party. Techno can stay up all night if the party is rad enough, but outside the parties, he's someone you wouldn't believe is quiet. In his spare time, when he is not making music, Techno will read about the history of music types, or even just a good book.
Okay, so I'm gonna deconstruct this bit by bit. So first off, you started off with a really, really bad note, because you start off your description of your character past like the really, really basic like male unicorn age blah 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 blah. The first line you have is as a relative to Vinyl Scratch. First off, how is he related to Vinyl Scratch? Second off, I mean I guess you can make yourself related to a character that people know, but it's just generally, unless you have a reason that you can have work with the story, it's something I would say avoid.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the main reason why I brought it on too. It's hard to justify
I can think of a couple other reasons.
Well, it's hard to justify and make coherent the reason why it's connected to a show-known character, or at least, anything beyond just a passing conversation.
Yeah. I mean, you can make your character some distant relative, I guess. I mean, I don't see the point. I don't see how it, benefits your character. I mean, you could make a DJ like pony who maybe got inspired to produce techno from going to like a rave that Vinyl was DJing or something like that.
I think it would be a nice story, this is just off the top of my head, is what if the classically minded violin and piano parents that this character has is so, like, strict about these things and
uptight.
strict, uptight, stick in the mud, whatever, about their son enjoying certain types of music. He sneaks out one day to go to a concert that is, or a rave that is DJ'd by Vinyl Scratch, finds out that he really likes this other style of music, and then starts looking into it, when all along the parents are like, she's my cousin. And it's like, what? That would be accepting. I think I would be okay with a story like that.
That could, if done properly, could be decent. I'm still a bit on the fence about the whole relative thing, but I think if you were to do it, that would be the way to do it. Something like that.
I think that would be the most accepting way.
Where they just. You don't want to start off with that, because it immediately leaves puts a bad taste in people's mouth when they see your OC.
Well, yeah, and also the fact that having a child that would have that kind of story and having the name Techno Sound would not make sense at all.
Yeah, that's true. You'd have to change that a bit.
So the other thing is that now thinking about it, why would a classically minded mother and father name their newly born son Techno Sound if they had no idea that the kid would grow up to want to be an electronic musician?
Because My Little Pony is a deterministic universe. That's the best I got for you.
Yeah, that's the best.
But honestly, no, I do agree that it kind of doesn't make sense. Him being named that. I also find it weird. Why is he named DJ 8-Bit? Other than the fact that the person's original OC was named 8-Bit, because he got in. Vinyl introduced him to dubstep, which he, I guess, got into and then learned how to produce dubstep, and plays at parties and raves. Named DJ 8-Bit, and then I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Also,
I thought you were asking why is he named DJ 8-Bit, and I was like, that's his stage name. But no, you're now asking why the stage name.
Yeah,
DJ
why? Well, it isn't. But it does. But it doesn't work with dubstep.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It doesn't mix well. I mean, if he was doing chiptunes or whatever, sure, whatever, that'd be great. I think that's the main takeaway from the actual backstory of this pony is the fact that it's very. It's got a concept down.
It has a couple things that are give you a branching point, but not refined enough.
Almost nothing about this actual character tells you anything about the actual character.
Yeah, that's another thing. I would like to what kind of a person actually is he?
Yeah, it tells a lot about what he does and how he acts, but nothing about who he is.
I would like more elaborated.
Yeah, get into what this pony really is. There's a point where I think on a couple of OCs that we have, and I believe at this point it's almost a safe rule just to say more is more. Always make more. I mean,
not. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes you can do a lot with very little. But
I'm just saying that in the case of OC descriptions, more is more.
As a general rule, you have to be really good to pull off less is more.
Yeah, and less is fucking nothing.
If you put a line is not less is more.
Yeah. So let's move on to the actual aesthetic on this pony. It is a red and black, for all intents and purposes, OC. No. It's not as bad as some of the red and black OCs, but it's still a red and black OC. It's not using the perfect pure black, and it's not using perfect red. So it's actually doing that decently.
I like just the individual colors themselves, not looking at them on a pony, not looking at them as a red and black color scheme. Because red and black just generally has created a negative connotation within my mind at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I like your choices of colors and how you sort of have picked out saturation levels and darknesses and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Shut up. But except for the cutie mark is a little bit wonky, but aside from that, it's just it seems really weird to have like nothing about this character's screen like makes it seem like they should be like black and red. It doesn't really fit with like their personality, their like where they come from, their family, what they do. There's no real I mean yeah, no, you don't have to like sit there and like think really like deeply about what colors it would be. Just like, I mean, but if it doesn't seem like anything about your character would like fits with the color scheme, because character design, like I mean, obviously people in real life you don't get like character design, so it's, things just sort of happen. But when you're actually sitting there designing the character, you put thought into what the colors can mean in terms of what kind of like emotions they can make you feel and the ways that they interact with other colors and stuff like that. It's all important to sort of build the character even more, because you can learn a lot about a character just from looking at the picture. But I couldn't learn too much. I wouldn't learn too much about this character from looking at it, because I see a black and red OC that has a music note cutie mark. Oh man, I've seen like 20 of those today. Also, fix the color on the cutie mark. Like, and I mean, the design of it too is a little bit like maybe actually do it with like try to figure out how, like pixel art ratios for 8-bit if you're gonna keep with the 8-bit thing, because it just sort of, I mean, it just looks like you just threw together some corners and stuff like that in a general shape of a music note. But like I mean, there's pixels are pixels.
Sweet. So let's move on to the
bad OC that I brought.
Yeah, the bad OC Commander brought on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us all about that, Commander.
Okay, this is Limelight. Limelight is a cat earth pony, or Equos. They're a female, or she's a female, I guess. She's a bit younger than the age of the main 6, and is the youngest of 4 siblings. Her cutie mark is a moon with 3 aligned stars, and her talent is being able to move quickly and nimbly in the dark. She was born to who knows who, and just like I guess she was just sort of abandoned and stuff, and was found by the queen, and who took her in, which is the queen of the Equos Petal Chime. And then she has adopted, or she's the youngest of like the adopted sisters, I guess, or she's adopted and the other sisters I don't think are, but yeah, because they're all biologically related. But anyways, for her personality, she's described as stoic, docile, quiet, loving, and acts like a cat, which I mean is kind of a personality, I guess, and I don't know. For the story, I'll try to just go through this pretty quick. It's sort of what I was talking about, how she was just like on the streets, sort of didn't really socialize with like other people, just sort of was abandoned, and then one day just like went to the royal garden, didn't really realize where she landed herself, and then fell asleep, and then woke up to was woken up by an older alicorn Equos filly, Moonlight, and the queen. And was pretty much terrified by this, because I mean, just waking up and being like, oh shit, there's royalty here, where am I, oh fuck. But she decided to take her in, I guess, for whatever reason. Just felt sorry, I don't know. Taught her how to act proper and right, but never really changed her cat-like personality and stuff like that. They don't really mind it. Was really shy at first, but over time sort of grew a little bit closer and stuff. Pretty much hid from everyone for like a month. And then got her cutie mark one night at the castle when a robber tried to steal multiple things, and it was Limelight who was able to take them down. So, what are your thoughts, Mummified?
That is definitely a description.
That is a description.
That is a description of a character that you have brought on.
Yes, it is. Where to begin?
There's so much here. I mean, I'm all for people being able to be like, oh, she's a cat earth pony. Did you say where the hell she came from?
I mean, they don't even talk about where they're from. I other than I don't know. I mean, the mother is the queen of the Equos pedal chime, whatever that means. I'm assuming somewhere that's not Equestria. That's enough to, I guess, make the justification of cat earth ponies, I guess, or cat ponies. I find it to be a strange sort of thing. The world just doesn't really have too much. There's not really too much fleshed out, and by not too much, I mean literally nothing.
I'm left with nothing to care about with this pony.
It's like they're trying to go for like a sort of like it's like they're taken in by royalty and stuff, but then they just are like they don't say anything. They don't really do anything.
Yeah.
If
they just kind of
they don't really have much of a personality other than I guess being a quiet cat is basically their personality.
Yeah. Which does dick all nothing for making an
pretty
actual
much
character.
This character, you could change this character literally into just a cat. Just a normal cat that was just a stray that they picked up. And I don't think you'd actually have to change a thing. Moving on to aesthetics. We have some purple and we have some green. Which, I mean... Those colors a lot of times tend to, especially together, symbolize evil. That's one thing to just note in terms of like character design that they're commonly associated with.
It's too dark.
Yeah, it's a bit too dark. Which
it's too dark on the green. It's too dark on the purple. It's too dark in the darker parts of the green.
Pastels. Closer to pastels, at least.
Pastel.
There's a reason why we talk about this how the show is pastel-colored ponies, because they're pastel, or at least closer to pastel. They're pleasing to the eyes. The cutie mark in the eye are so light, and then contrasting this, you have the coat, which is super dark. Which I guess at least the fact that the cutie mark at least doesn't look like it's like it. Maybe probably just because the black outlines looks okay on I don't particularly like the cutie mark, but it doesn't look like horrendous. I can't stand to look at it. But I bet if you got rid of those black outlines, it probably wouldn't look that good. But I don't know. You just work on it. I wish I had something better to say, but I mean we've reiterated these points a million times. There's nothing about this character in story or in aesthetics that sticks out in the slightest.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm being a bit blunt, but I maybe it's because I'm so desensitized because I haven't had to be on the show for a while. So I see this character and I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know.
All right. We'll wrap up this pony there.
This pony, or should I say this cat? I don't really. That's pretty much. It's a cat. That's my wrapping this up and summarization of what I've gathered from this character. I'm sorry. I wish I had more to say.
So, then, moving on to the final segment of this show. Well, almost final segment of the show. The part that everybody loves and cares about, the voting of the characters. So, going over the OCs that we brought on, I brought on Lilac Night by XX Blue Assassin XX. And then Commander brought on Nervous Nelly by Shipping Everyone. I still really like my character. Commander, do you like my character more than you like your own character?
I still really like my character, but I think that Lilac Night is a very well developed character, and I really like the idea that I came up with. So I will agree with you and concede defeat on the good OC.
Cool, sweet. So moving on to the bad OCs, I have DJ 8-Bit, aka Techno Sound, by Turtle Wolf. And Commander brought on Limelight by Such an Otaku. I think your cat OC is worse than my...
we at least had ideas for how to make yours good. Mine, it was just... I I didn't even. You could have written it as something totally different that wasn't even a character, and I wouldn't have noticed.
So, moving on to the questions part of this show. Commander, what is the question that we have this week?
The question that we have this week is actually one that, Medi and Soren answered, but Medi actually wants to get answers from all of us for it, and it's pretty much basically, what is your favorite historical time period, in recorded history?
Oh, okay. I kind of, now, not because, I like that culture or anything like that, but I like the idea of, the Warring States period of, feudal Japan.
Oh, man. Got a weeaboo. We got a weeaboo over here, guys.
Not because it's a weeaboo thing, but I just think it's very interesting how...
I get you. I'm just fucking with you. I'm the one who always gets called a weeaboo, dude.
There was some story, I remember, of a guy going all the way from being the person who fetches, Emperor his sandals to actually conquering most of Japan back in the day. I can't remember what his name was, but it was one of these things that it's just dude, you did what? And now you're doing what? Oh man. And there's actually some great time period in that part where I think one of the emperors of a certain clan in Japan went over and tried to take Korea or something like that, and it ended badly, but it was still a great story. I really liked it a lot. Then Greek mythology. Greek mythology is okay. I really like it too.
Speaking of Greek mythology, my favorite time period is... it's sort of between two, but I pretty much... I would say that probably my favorite time period is just, classical Greece. Just because it's just so interesting and such a booming time for discussion and philosophy, and I love the mythology, and there's just so many interesting things about it. And then the Romans took all the good things about the Greeks, and they just sort of fucked them.
Yeah.
But then people remember the Romans, and then the Romans. They were better fighters, and they had a better military. Yeah, but in terms of anything actual thoughtful things. Some of their architecture was better, but yeah, I don't know. It is good. I like it. I also like the sort of Enlightenment period. As a blooming scientist that I am,
yeah,
I had to say
that blooming period that happened right before the Dark Ages.
What?
Wait,
you mean right after the Dark Ages?
Really?
After it was the Renaissance and then the Enlightenment? Kind sir, Galileo? Yeah, Galileo who lived in 500 AD or CE. Jesus Christ, Mom, if I learned your fucking history.
I'm the worst.
You are literally the worst.
I'm too focused over on the feudal war Japan era that happened, that did the thing. I'm sorry, I'm the worst. Anyway. So yeah, that's our two favorite periods of time. That was a great question, and those were some great OCs that we had on this week.
Those were some OCs.
Those were some OCs that we had on.
I liked both. I liked both of our good ones. That's good.
Can you tell the people where they can find our things, or do you want me to do that?
You should probably do it. I can't get it off the top of my head. It's been too long.
So. If you have a question or an OC that you want to submit to the show, you can submit questions and OCs to us at deviantart.com. You can submit questions at YourOCSucks at Twitter. You can send in either questions or OCs at our email, YourOCSucksPodcast@gmail.com. Or you can do both with questions and OCs at Tumblr at YourOCSucksPodcast.tumblr.com. This show is also supported by the lovely people over at Patreon.com. You can become a patron today and donate to the show and receive small benefits and rewards. Head on over to Patreon.com/YourOCSucks to sign up today. In the meantime, this was another lovely episode of our 2x2 episodes. we'll probably have another one next week, and then we may move into something different for the following week. We might be doing something fun. I don't know.
Think about what day that would be, guys.
Yeah. Just think about
what 2 weeks in a row, what day it's gonna be.
You sound like
it's like a weird smooth.
It's like Smooth if he lived under a bridge and he's trying to tell us about... He's a troll. Be like, I look at the land before. Think of what it may be.
You have to answer my riddles.
Oh, my back.
Oh, my back.
Anyway, so... Yeah, this has been a great episode. Catch us all next week for another episode of Hero Sucks. In the meantime, my name is Mo5 Thunderbirds. This week I'm joined by...
Commander Sparkle! Yay!
And remember, your OC sucks.